The Clone Wars devastated many of the galaxy's planets. The Separatists deployed their droid army to ravage Republic worlds, leaving millions dead or without homes. They had a wide array of weapons at their disposal, and one of their most terrifying weapons was the HMP Droid Gunship. That's the key word, terrifying. This gunship did far more than devastate Republic worlds. Sometimes it was turned on the Separatists' own citizens with frightening effectiveness. In today's video, we'll discuss the HMP Droid Gunship, focusing on its specs and how Separatist dictators used it to keep their populace in line.
Attention, Sergeant on deck!
The HMP Droid Gunship, short for Heavy Missile Platform, was a repulsor-lift air speeder manufactured by Bactoid Fleet Ordnance for the Confederacy of Independent Systems near the end of the Clone Wars. It was based on the older design of the mechanized assault flyer and intended for low-altitude airstrikes. The Droid Gunship was the Separatists' answer to the Grand Army of the Republic's low-altitude assault transport or infantry gunships. This behemoth of an airspeeder measured 12.46 meters, or 41 feet long, 9.75 meters, or 32 feet wide, and 2.78 meters, or 9 feet tall. Its creators saw it as a hunk of heavily shielded metal capable of raining pain upon its enemies at a speed of up to 100 kilometers, or 62 miles per hour. Much like its predecessor, it had a saucer-shaped body and a reactor and drive system mounted in the center of its domed hull. In front, it featured a scorpion-like head with glowing red eyes and moving mandibles. Unlike its predecessor, the vehicle was unmanned, controlled by an integrated droid brain linked to a droid control ship in orbit. Although the ship was relatively slow and clunky, it was armed to the teeth and not afraid to spend its arsenal. Most of the ship's energy-based weapons were mounted on its head. They included a forward-mounted heavy laser cannon and two forward-mounted spherical turrets housing twin light laser cannons. Two medium laser cannons were also mounted on small S-foils on the ship's flanks. But that wasn't all the gunship's firepower. On the surface of its main body, Bactoid fitted modular ordnance racks that could deploy any type of projectile in the Separatists' arsenal. Concussion missiles, torpedoes, electromagnetic pulse bombs, the gunship could fire them all. And if that wasn't enough, some models were custom fitted with deployment racks for B1, B2, and BX series battle droids. As we mentioned earlier, however, this ship wasn't particularly fast. To substitute its low speed and maneuverability, Bactoid equipped it with a powerful ray shield generator that could protect it from enemy blaster fire. Short-range sensors rounded out the ship's defenses, giving it a fighting chance even against faster Republic speeders. It was a fantastic, reliable craft designed for air support in planetary atmospheres, and the Separatist army put it to good use. Sometimes, that meant targeting their own people. One of the problems with war is that it's never just between opposing factions. Wartime gives bad people an opportunity to do bad things, and this is as true in the Star Wars universe as it is in ours. During the Clone Wars, many world leaders took advantage of the conflict and allied with the CIS, leveraging their planet's shipyards and resources to tighten their hold on the people they had subjugated. Addo Emon was an excellent example of a bad man made worse by war. During the Clone Wars, he was the ruler of the planet Karam 5 in the Mid-Rim and was known for his silver tongue. Although the planet initially took a neutral stance in the war, Emon secretly forged an alliance with the CIS and offered Karam 5's vast manufacturing facilities in exchange for a percentage of the ships produced. The Separatists were quite happy with this arrangement. They got an armada of HMP Droid Gunships, and Emon got his cut of the fleet. Remember how the Droid Gunship was intended for airstrikes in planetary atmospheres? Emon did. He deployed his new fleet against his own people, turning his rule into a dictatorship the planet would not soon forget. The gunships targeted anyone Emon perceived as a threat to his rule, but the thing with heavy ordnance is that it's rather indiscriminate when deployed in urban centers. Emon killed anyone and anything that may have come to stand against him, but he also killed innocents and ravaged the land. At least the ships he gave the Separatists had his shiny, triple-spiraled insignia to show that he was a charitable CIS sponsor. The people of Karam 5 greatly appreciated the free advertisement. Emon wasn't the only leader to deploy gunships against his own world. In fact, he wasn't even the worst. That title goes to King Sanjay Rash of the Royal Court of Onderon. When the Clone Wars began, Onderon's ruler, King Ramses Dendup, chose to remain neutral despite some members of his cabinet approving the CIS's leader, Count Dooku. Onderon's location in the Inner Rim was perfect for launching armadas into the galaxy, so the Separatists chose to respect the king's decision, peacefully invading the capital city Aziz and occupying the planet with their droid army, replacing the legitimate ruler with a Separatist sympathizer named Sanjay Rash. The people of Onderon didn't take kindly to the occupation, nor to their new dictator's harsh regime. It didn't take long for a group of rebels to organize a resistance force in the jungle. For 2 years, the rebels did their best to fight the droid army, but they lacked training and supplies. In what must have felt like their last hope, they reached out to the Jedi Council. After long deliberation, the Council agreed to train the resistance, even though some believed it was an internal affair the Jedi shouldn't involve themselves in. Thus, Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Captain Rex left for the planet. On Onderon, the Republic team taught the rebels how to take out various models of battle droids, from droidicas to AATs. Under their tutelage, the rebels, which included then newbie Saw Gerrera, defended their camp from the droid army and carried out strikes against the droid capital. They even destroyed the main generator that powered the Separatist droids. The illegitimate king grew increasingly concerned with the rebels' success. He received additional support from the Separatists in the form of General Kalani, a super tactical droid. Believing the former king to be behind the rebels' activity, Rash planned his public execution. In the end, the execution failed when the Royal Guard sided with the rebels and freed the king. This is where the droid gunships come in. Now enraged, King Rash and General Kalani sent in the droid army in an all-out attack to wipe out the new rebel camp in the Highlands. Several HMP droid gunships were deployed. Even though the rebels fought off the droid army's ground forces, the gunships were far too powerful, forcing them to retreat. Fortunately for the rebels, Skywalker went to Florum to secure rocket launchers, which he brought back to Onderon. These proved effective against the gunships, devastating the area. Unfortunately for the Seps, one gunship crashed into the side of the mountain where Steela Gerrera was standing, and she fell to her death. This seemingly insignificant death would cause both the Separatists and the Empire a lot of grief later on, as it radicalized Saw Gerrera, her brother, and essentially turned him into a straight-up terrorist. Despite heavy losses, the rebels won. Count Dooku ordered the droid army to withdraw from the planet, which displeased the dictator. When he insisted on additional reinforcements, the droids smoked him and withdrew from the planet completely. In the aftermath, the former king was reinstated as Onderon's ruler and the planet joined the Republic. Few would soon forget the terror of the droid army's occupation, however, and the rain of destruction the HMP droid gunships brought down on Onderon civilians. Even after the Clone Wars, the HMP droid gunship still saw use, including in the Battle of Mustafar. But battles are never as devastating as attacks on civilian populations, especially when they're upon one's own people. War is war, and terror is indiscriminate. But what do you think? Which Clone Wars war crime stuck out the most to you when you were watching? Let us know all that and more in the comments section below. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching.